Yeah, and in my opinion, I think that's why you get a lot of veterans that suffer from PTSD, right? Like even and PTSD from either combat and or not even not having combat, because once you lose that and you're tossed into the world, it becomes a very lonely place, right? In my opinion, like it becomes a like I'm a dad, right? And as the husband of the household, it's like everything relies on me, right? I've got to be the strongest when the wife breaks down or the kids break down. Dad's got to be the strongest, and then dad's like, who looks out for dad, right? You used to have all these brothers that had your back, and now you don't. Well, you do, but you feel like you don't. So you feel like you're in a very like you're stuck. You know what I mean? And I think it's where the transition out is like it's difficult in the sense of you once had something and then you kind of yearn. Is that the right word? Yearn. You kind of long for it.
Yeah.
Right. And I think a lot of people get to a point to where it's like the more and more time that goes on, you're afraid to kind of like reach out for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause doing this, we've had a lot of guys that we haven't talked to, and both, I know all three of us, and coming out with this, we've had guys that we haven't talked to in 10, 15 years be like, hey guys, we fucking love this. This is awesome. Right. And it's like, I ain't talked to you. How you been, man? You know what I mean? So it's like, I think we're all looking for that, but like we're afraid to reach out. So I hope that answered your question. It's a tough transition because the structure that you have now, when that goes away, it's like shit. Like it's kind of almost like you said, little by little, the DEI shit kind of started creeping in. Little by little, it's like you get further and further away, and it becomes that much more difficult by the time you realize like something's missing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like you kind of lose that sense of purpose. You know, like for me, like in my current job, like, you know, I sit in a cubicle for 9 hours a day. You know, I love what I do, but, you know, fortunately for me, you know, I'm also surrounded by a lot of other veterans. So I spend a majority of my day talking to the guy sitting next to me about, you know, he's Air Force, I'm Army. So for me, it's nice because it fills my day with conversation with another veteran, which is super helpful for me because if I didn't, I would just be sitting there in that cubicle. I couldn't relate to anybody else. So it is like, and then, you know, it goes back to that purpose. Like, it is very difficult. I find it very difficult to fit back in. It's very challenging, but like, I think starting this, like, it has helped me as well because it gave me more confidence to like, even like reach out and talk to other people. Hearing people like Matt said, like people reaching out to us and being like, hey, I love what you guys are doing, you know, and hearing that, like, also it kind of makes me feel better. It makes me feel like kind of like what we're doing here is doing good, but also like in my current job, like in that transition, you know, I'm feeling that sense of purpose again. And, you know, that's why I think the biggest thing is finding that sense of purpose of when you get out.